Well, good morning, friend. Monday morning, and welcome to the Pastor's Podcast. It is January the 17th. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. And we had a good weekend yesterday. I know there's a lot of churches out in the East Coast got hit pretty hard, but it was cold here on Saturday, freezing cold on Saturday, but warmed up on Sunday, had a good day all day long last night, filled the church house once again and saw people saved and baptized yesterday. And I'm always excited about that. That's one thing that I always want to keep going here at Maranatha Baptist Church is seeing God grow our church and seeing people saved and baptized. Sometimes we can almost get used to it here because we see it all the time. And I know there's a lot of happen, but I'm excited that God's blessing our church. And just to kind of give you just a little testimony, like yesterday, we had two baptized, those two children. Those two children were the adults that I was able to lead to Christ a few weeks ago. They got baptized a week ago Sunday. So then the daughter and the son got saved, and now they got baptized. So the whole family saved, baptized. They were back in church, of course, last night, growing in the Lord. Soul winning works, my friend. And I hope that you would stay busy going soul winning. This is exciting, being able to be a part of it. Boy, I love seeing it happen. I wish that you could see it as well. It is exciting watching the Lord work in 2022. He can do it, and you just got to get the works done. I want to read to you this morning. I want to talk to you a little bit about financial diligence. In Proverbs 27:23, God says, "Be thou diligent to know the state of thy flocks, and look well to thy herds." Now, one of the great reasons people find themselves in a financial mess is because they are careless with the finances. Now, God promised in his word that he will supply our daily needs. Now, here's the problem. The problem is many have spent what God has supplied for their needs on their wants. Now, if people were diligent with their money as they are with technology and pleasure, they would find that they likely have plenty of money to care for their needs and more. God promises to supply our needs. Now, the verse I just read to you from the book of Proverbs commands the believer to be diligent to know the state of the flocks were the amount of sheep that a shepherd kept. In those days, that was how you measured a man's wealth, by the amount of sheep that they owned. God's warning these people to be very careful to know the state of this flock. In other words, they were to know the condition their flock was in so they didn't lose their wealth. Or if you could put it this way, if maybe they were getting older, they need to replenish some. The shepherd was to know their flock. Were they sick? Were they dying? Or if one or two of the sheep were wandering out of the flock, this command to the shepherd applies to us with our finances as well. Now, I want to share several ways that you can be financially diligent with your finances. First, you have to be committed to a budget. One of the definitions of diligent is to be committed. You must have a budget that tells you how much you can spend in each area of your life. And you must be committed to live by the boundaries of that budget. You'll lose money if you're careless with your budget. Let your budget be the boss of your money. And you'll always know how much money you do and don't have. Second, be conscientious of your tithes and offerings. Another definition of diligent is to be conscientious. You owe God 10% of your income. And not to pay your tithe is to bring a curse on your finances. Now, being careless with your tithes and getting behind only brings a curse on your finances until you get caught up. Every week that you don't pay your tithe is 1 week of God's blessings that you're going to miss. Now, I'd rather stay up with my tithes and be blessed than to get behind and lose those blessings. Third, be meticulous with your expenses. To be diligent means to be painstakingly careful with the expenses that you do have. Always look for better deals with your monthly bill. Shop around annually and see if you can lower those expenses. Get rid of the fluff of spending that you don't need. If you look over where your money is being spent, you'd realize that you're spending on things you likely don't need. Fourth, be careful with your spending. Now, to be diligent is to be careful with what you have. Put a tight rein on your pleasures and wants. Stop window shopping, because window shopping always results in spending money that should not have been spent. Always remember that you can have things now to satisfy your pleasures and wants and have nothing later, or you can save for later in life and enjoy those pleasures and wants when you get older. Now, you're going to get old one day, my friend. So don't let your pleasures and wants dictate your spending habits. Fifth, be driven to make your money work. The word diligent also means hard working. Your money should work just like you work. Something that doesn't work is going to starve to death. You work your money through investing. Now, be wise with your investment. Don't invest in the risky investments or get rich quick schemes. You can increase your income if you put your money to work in a wise investment. Now, I want you to take these things. I want you to think about them and ask God. Say, God, give me wisdom. People who tend to have the money to invest and do things, they're diligent with the state of their flocks. You may not ever get rich, but you don't have to squeak by all the time. If you learn to take what you have and say, listen, I don't have to live the high and mighty high life. I can enjoy the simple life and always have the finances to do something for God, or maybe even enjoy a little bit of pleasure. Nothing wrong with that. But be diligent with your finances. God's giving you the money to use. Now use it wisely. Why? So that way, when you get older, you're not stressed out. What am I going to do? Oh, my friend, be so careful with what you have. God's given you. He supplied your needs. Now use it wisely. Take these 5 things, these tips, and apply them to your finances. I hope this is a help to you. Hey, my friend, remember today, be good to everybody. Everybody's having a tough time. Have a great day, my friend.